is true about Logan Paul? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that is and whether or not it's true and why I think it's interesting, because Logan Paul, man, he gets a lot of freaking flack. I won't lie. Logan Paul is a guy that made his name on YouTube and then became a boxer and a social media influencer and just an outrageous businessman with Prime. Prime hydration drink is everywhere. And you got to give him props for the business model, which I may go into at a later date. Now, Logan Paul, most notably, though, his WWE transition has been remarkable. He is one of the very few guys that has been able to take to pro wrestling and thrive. And every single time he gets into the squared circle, this guy gets better, which is crazy. What makes it more crazy is he's better today than he was his last performance. Every single time he gets into the ring, he gets better and better and better. When you think he can't get any better, he does. He always does two things in his matches that is impressive. One, he does moves that you didn't even think were possible, like the springboard into a moonsault to the floor, right? He did that in his SummerSlam match with L.A. Knight. Yeah, but what he's also been able to do is he gets better and he picks up something new, whether it's psychology-wise or in-ring-wise, and then he implements it in a notable way the following time. That's also impressive. Now, Logan Paul, yes, he had a very controversial United States Championship run, something in which started when he defeated Rey Mysterio on November 4th, 2023 at Crown Jewel in sweet Saudi Arabia. It caught the attention of one man, and in this video we're going to talk about it, because Paul, well, he defended the championship 3 times, 2 of which were successful. He scored a win over Kevin Owens via disqualification in January at the Royal Rumble, and later over Owens and Randy Orton in a triple threat match at WrestleMania 40. Now, he did drop the U.S. Championship to LA Knight this past Saturday night at the SummerSlam PLE, ending his reign at 273 days. Now, he caught the eye of The Undertaker. And The Undertaker was on his Impulsive podcast with Paul, and he praised Paul for what he did with the title. He said, obviously it was a rough day at the office last night, but what you've done with your platform for that title has been very impressive. You've actually made that thing mean something again. You had that thing for almost a year. What you were able to do in the places that you go when you're with your brother and you got that belt, man, that's next level commitment. And that's made that belt relevant again. Paul said, I tried to take that title belt everywhere. I glued it to my side. I bet people will see that in this generation of wrestling fans. People will see it and always be like, that's Logan Paul's belt, end quote. Now, the point of this video was making the championship relevant again, and we will address Logan Paul's little comment in a moment. Now, a few facts out there. So Logan Paul, among all of the history of the championship, among all the champions in the title's history, overall, including combined days as champion, Logan Paul sits at number 20 on the all-time list. Lex Luger, he has the all-time record at 950 days combined over the course of 5 reigns. Now, looking at the champions before him, it was Rey Mysterio at 85 days, Austin Theory at 258, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Theory, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Sheamus, Riddle. Okay, all right, some notable guys. Lashley, Apollo Crews, Andrade, Mysterio, AJ Styles, Ricochet, Samoa Joe. So there's been a few handful of names on there that have held the championship. Do I think he's made that championship relevant again, quote unquote? Well, I think that's also a little bit subjective. Do I think Logan Paul has been able to create a buzz around the title? No. Therefore, what The Undertaker said, is that true? No. He did not make that championship relevant again. What made it relevant again is the fact that LA Knight won it. Yeah, I said it. It's not Logan Paul. Look, you can have Logan Paul make all these appearances, and you can have him hold it for 273 days, and he can make appearances on television with it. But if you don't defend a championship, if you are not a marquee name like a Roman Reigns or a John Cena or a Brock Lesnar, or go down the list of megastars, just because you're a champion does not mean that the title is over because you made it over. That is not the case. Just like you can have an over title, like the WWE Championship, and put it on Jinder Mahal, and he doesn't come across and become a megastar or a top superstar. As soon as he dropped that title and his push was gone, his push was gone. So the title doesn't make the guy, and the guy doesn't necessarily just make the title. You have to have a prestige of a title, you have to have a overact, and you have to have booking that supports both of those things. That's just the reality of the situation. The reason that the title became relevant, again, if you could make that argument, which is, and I don't even think that's the case, I think it's the championship. I don't view the U.S. title more important than the Intercontinental title. I just don't. Look how long Gunther had to hold that title to bring prestige back to it yet again. Look at what Sami Zayn had to do, the classic matches that he had to have while IC champion to continue that prestige, right? The IC title was known for the workhorse title because those guys would go out there and put on banger matches every single night, regardless of the event or the crowd size. Okay? The U.S. title has always looked down upon. It's always been seen as the fourth championship among singles male titles. It just has, it always will be. Even when John Cena held that title, that was really the only time that the title actually meant something. Why? And I'm not talking about his early days. I'm talking about the mid-2010s. Why did that title mean something? You had a notable guy with notable booking defending the title often. Logan Paul's defended this title twice. 3 times technically, 2 times successfully. That does not mean that that title is relevant. You can go on the Today Show, you can go on X, Y, or Z appearance and make all the appearances on some of the biggest platforms possible. That does not mean a championship is over. It is simply a hunk of metal and leather. That's all it is. Vince Russo, who is one of the worst bookers by himself without a filter. With a filter, he's got something, right? We saw that with the Attitude Era, but without a filter, he's god-awful. He said that the title is just a prop. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I also don't disagree with it either. There's a lot of components, just like in life, that make up something. And if a title is just a title, then a guy is just a guy. But when you come together with those 3 core values, whether it's a championship or a reason behind a feud, the booking of it and the right guy, then you have magic. And at that point, then you're off to the races.